Now that our renovation is complete and we are back in our family kitchen, it is time to get cooking. But ironically, it is also July, a time of year when in my part of the country, we tend to limit firing up the stove and the oven. So in this video, I am going to share with you 3 delicious, tasty, refreshing family meals that will not heat up your kitchen. And if you are tired already of the same old sandwiches and salads and pasta salads and usual summer fare, you're gonna wanna watch this video because a few of these were new to me. So maybe there'll be something new here for you to add to your rotation of summer meals. My Thrive Market box just arrived. They are sponsoring today's video, so we'll talk more about them later. But for now, I just need to grab a couple of things out of here that I want for the recipe I'm making right now. Eureka! Here we go. Found it. We are gonna whip up a little chicken pesto tortellini salad. So I have some 5 cheese tortellini here. You could use frozen tortellini too, or a different kind. I have the 28-ounce bag, but you could use less if you're feeding fewer people. I'm trying to make enough for my family of 5. I have some baby arugula. You could use a different kind of greens if you want, maybe spinach or some romaine. I have some red onion I'm gonna chop up, some artichoke hearts. I meant to purchase sun-dried tomatoes, but I ended up with these grilled peppers, but I think it's still gonna work. Of course, I have some pesto here and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I almost forgot the mozzarella pearls too. So this recipe was supposed to be a great way to use up leftover chicken and make the meal ahead of time that you could have with that leftover chicken, but it's summer. In the summer, my whole family is home during the day and they eat lunch. So all of the leftover chicken I had planned to use for this recipe is already gone, but have no fear. I thought ahead and I did pick up a container of rotisserie chicken because I thought that might happen. So that's what we're gonna use in this. I am chopping up my onion. I'm only using like 1/4 of a red onion. And I'm also giving a rough chop to my artichoke hearts and those grilled peppers. My tortellini are on the stove. I just brought a big pot of salted water to a boil and put those in. Those are fresh, not frozen. So I'm only gonna let them cook for probably 3 or 4 minutes before I drain them. I like using tortellini for pasta salads in the summer because it only takes a few minutes to cook. So you only have to have your stove fired up for a few minutes. My tortellini are done to al dente and they are still holding their shape. I drained them and rinsed them, but I didn't rinse them all the way down to cool. I want them to be a little bit warm because I'm going to go ahead and put the pesto on the pasta before I put everything else in. I'm gonna use about 1/2 cup or so. I'm using my silicone spoon because I want to be very gentle as I stir in this pesto. The only thing about working with tortellini is that they can fall apart, especially if you overcook them. So be careful to try not to do that. Okay, now I have my artichoke hearts, my onions, peppers, a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm not gonna be super heavy-handed with the seasonings or even with the pesto because the artichoke hearts and the grilled peppers are seasoned themselves already. Handful of arugula in there. And then my mozzarella pearls. Sometimes you have to break these up a little bit with your fingers. And my chicken. Little bit more pesto. Still being very gentle here, and my tortellini are definitely holding up. Once this is all combined, I'm going to pop the lid on and put it in the refrigerator. I want it to chill for a couple of hours because I think that's what makes this really tasty, actually, is serving it cold. You could serve it warm, but this one is a lot tastier when it's chilled. The inspiration for this one actually goes back to when my husband and I were first married. We lived in Norman. That is where the University of Oklahoma is. My husband is a grad. And then he worked on campus as a pastor for 15 years. And while we lived there, there was a restaurant on Campus Corner called Plaid Cafe, and they had the best chicken tortellini salad, kind of like the one that I'm making. Plaid Cafe closed down several years back before we even moved to Tulsa, which is 7 years ago. So I guess we're talking 10+ years. So I wasn't able to find like a recipe online, but I remember that it had tortellini and that it had artichoke hearts and chicken and pesto. So I've done the best I can to try to recreate recreate something similar. But you know how you just have those dishes and those recipes that are sort of nostalgic, they're like stuck in your mind, and it's not just a taste, it's like a feeling. It reminds you of like a certain season of your life. That's the power of good food, right? Today's video is sponsored by Thrive Market. Thrive Market is on a mission to make healthy living affordable for everybody. They do this by stocking their online grocery store with thousands of natural and organic products, which you can sort according to your lifestyle or dietary preference. Choose the things that you want and then have them delivered right to your door. Since I am just reopening my kitchen, this month's Thrive Market haul was full of some of my favorite pantry essentials that I've discovered over the years being a Thrive Market member. I'm a big fan of their organic pastas in all different cuts and shapes, their canned tomatoes, rice and beans in lots of different varieties. I purchased a lot of seasonings, condiments, and cooking oils from Thrive Market as well. This balsamic glaze is so good, especially drizzled over grilled salmon or chicken. I really like these steel cut oats with peanut butter and banana, especially since I discovered you can speed up the cooking time by soaking them overnight. I'm also a big fan of grits, especially with a little butter, salt, and cheese. So I'm excited to try this polenta from Bob's Red Mill. There's one ingredient in this, organic corn. Thrive Market restricts over 1,000 questionable ingredients from the products that they carry on site, so you can shop high quality groceries worry-free without the premium price tag. Right now you can get 30% off your entire first order with Thrive Market, plus a free gift worth up to $60 when you sign up for a membership. Just follow the link in the description box below or go to thrivemarket.com/cmindymom. Plus, from July 19th through the 22nd, you can shop Thrive Market's biggest sale of the summer to save an extra 25% off some of their best-selling products. Again, that link is in the description box, or you can go to thrivemarket.com/cmindymom. And thank you again to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. So I have had this famous La Scala chopped salad recipe pinned since the winter, and apparently it was like made famous by the Kardashians. There's like a restaurant in LA or something that makes this salad. I don't know. I don't keep up with that. I just saw the ingredients: crunchy iceberg and romaine. Good. Chickpeas. Good. Salami. Good. A yummy looking homemade vinaigrette. What's not to like? Definitely right up our alley as far as our tastes go in this family. I'm gonna start by mixing up the dressing ingredients so I can chill that in the refrigerator before we dress the salad. 1/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil, 2 cloves of minced garlic, give or take, 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, give or take, 3 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, give or take, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, cracked black pepper, and then 1/3 of a cup of grated Pecorino Romano or Parmesan. It's hard for me to find Pecorino Romano without going to a special store or to Whole Foods. Come on. There. So we are just going to use Parmesan. I don't know, that looks about right. A little more. Okay, Mr. Ninja Bullet, do your thing. And I'm just gonna pop this into the fridge to chill for a little bit while we make up the salad. I chopped up 1 head of romaine lettuce and 1 very small head of iceberg lettuce, and that is sitting in the sink soaking. We will give it a drain, rinse, and spin here in just a minute when we're ready to put the salad together. And right now I am chopping up my salami into long, thin strips. And then I will also drain and rinse my chickpeas. Before I add the rest of the salad ingredients, I wanted to dress the greens with about half of the dressing on their own. I feel like if I don't do this, a lot of the dressing ends up going to the other ingredients in the salad. And in my opinion, it's really the greens, the lettuces, you know, the spinach, the arugula, whatever you're making your salad from, that really needs the flavor. The toppings, not so much. A little bit more pepper. Now, chickpeas, salami. So even though I have this YouTube channel, I'm also just a regular mom, and this is a regular family kitchen. I purchased this cheese. It's a mixture of mozzarella, Colby, Gruyere, and Asiago to use in this salad, but my family discovered it before I could film this recipe, so we are just going to use the rest of this and some of this Parmesan that I have left over from the dressing and make it work. A very sad amount of cheese, supplemental Parmesan to save the day. Mixy, mixy. I need a bigger salad bowl. Oh, almost forgot, I still have dressing. Oop, all of that out. Okay, it looks amazing. It smells amazing, but the important thing is how does it taste, so here comes the real test. There's a reason why this is viral. Yummy. It's got the crunch of those two different kinds of lettuce and then the saltiness of the salami and the richness of the salad dressing. Really good combination. I mean, this is not a side salad. This is a meal salad, right? Like, this is a salad that you eat for a meal. Definitely 2 thumbs up for me. I'll definitely be making this again. This orzo pasta salad was absolutely delicious. It's coming from Fresh Apron, or at least the inspiration for it is coming from there. I will leave that recipe linked in the description box below. If you're not familiar with orzo, it is a very, very small pasta. It almost looks like rice. So it's kind of a nice change up for your pasta dishes if you're getting tired of the traditional pastas. I'm also gonna use 2 bell peppers, an orange and a yellow, some tomato, some red onion, some cucumbers, some feta, and also some fresh basil. I'm starting out by cooking my pasta. I've got a pot of salted water boiling, and I'm going to cook 1.5 cups of this orzo to al dente and then just drain it and set it aside. And while the pasta is cooking, I chopped up the vegetables, the cucumber, the tomato, the peppers, the onion, and I'm also going to get the dressing made. We've got some olive oil, some red wine vinegar, the juice of a lemon, some fresh garlic. I'm using jarlic, stuff that's already minced, taking that little shortcut. Honey, a little bit of Italian seasoning, salt and pepper to taste. I'm gonna blend all of that up in my magic bullet, and by then my pasta is done cooking, so I'm giving it a quick rinse. I just wanted to stop cooking, but I'm gonna leave it warm because I read a while back that dressing your pasta salads while they're warm actually helps it soak up some of the flavor from the dressing. So all of this is getting mixed up and then popped into the fridge, but not before I finally remember to put in the basil. I forgot, but we caught it in time, so a little of that going into the dish before I pop the lid on and put it into the refrigerator with a little bit of feta cheese. I let that chill for a couple of hours, and once the chicken was done, I just pulled it out, served it alongside this grilled chicken. It's so tasty, really refreshing. Lots of texture in there with the pasta and then the crisp veggies, and the dressing was absolutely fantastic. Give this one a try. I hope you found something in this video that was helpful or a recipe that looks tasty that you want to try. I will leave some links in the description box below for any recipes that inspired me, or maybe some that are similar to what I made here if I didn't follow a recipe. Pick out one of these videos to watch next, and I'll see you there.